Alright, on this next lesson we're going to look at how to start inserting design files so that they become components, and then how to start positioning them within a file. If you want to follow along, I've got underneath the assignment 3 folder here in the Fusion, this one in components there, is a file called Assembly Demo. I'll go ahead and open that up. Real important, when you create a file and you're going to start inserting components in it, it has to be saved. Okay, so make sure you remember to do that. Alright, so inserting is pretty easy. Just go down, right mouse click on the one you want to insert, in this case the cover, and say insert into current design. When it does, it comes in how it was originally oriented. So for this one, it's pretty much where we need it to be at to start with. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I can move it, rotate it at this point if I wanted to. I'm just going to leave it alone, say OK. Now normally what you do is that you ground this first element. So as you have other things that you insert, you can basically attach to this and have it match up correctly and not move the wrong part. So let me do that. So right mouse click on this and simply say ground. Okay, now that's the grounded element. So now I'm going to go in and get the lens. There it is right there. Once again, insert into current design. Now, because I built this all kind of off of a common sketch that I went and laid out, these will actually come in and be at the right location. But I'm going to pull this out and just show you what you can do with this. Okay, so let me do that. So to basically have one part to another, you need to use the joint tool, which is underneath Assembly, Joint. Okay, when you do this, what you do is you look kind of for common edges or faces. So if I pick there, notice it highlights that outside edge and also a little point in the center. Okay, now it did the first one. It jumps automatically to component 2. On this one, I want to make sure I select it right there. It's kind of this outside edge. When I do that, these two get pulled together. Now let's see, did I do the right spot? Well, we'll check. We'll go ahead and say OK to that. And in this file, go inspect, section analysis, and let me choose the right plane here. There we go. So I just want to make sure, and sure enough, that looks like it got in the right spot. There's a little niche there. Okay, good. Say OK to that, and we'll just go ahead and turn this off. Alright, so we'll do the bezel next. I'll do this one that is the bezel final in this case. Once again, insert it. And if these are coming in at the right spot, you really don't have to do anything. So on this one, I'm just going to say OK to that. So I'll not change it, but it's at the right spot. At least let me double check. Yep, when I designed this, I made a common sketch for all this, and then that came in the right spot. Alright, now let's do, this time, a sub-assembly. So I'm going to look for this circuit board. Hang on. Let's do actually the contact assembly there. Okay. Say insert into current design again. Now, this one is coming in kind of oriented wrong, and then also it apparently is something about how this is set up that's not quite right with this. So I'll at least go ahead and rotate this around, and notice also the pivot point's not at the right spot. Okay, let me pull this back. Set up there. Now I'm going to say OK to this. We'll see how this works, but to align this, basically, once again, I'll do the joint tool. Shortcut is J. I'll pick this outside edge, and I'll spin around, and that should actually line up or touch like basically that face there. Okay, notice you don't have to have a full edge. You can do a little piece like that. I'll click on that. It pulls and shows one piece aligning, which is good. You hit OK, and then it jumps. Now sometimes you get that where in this case the sub-assembly didn't quite work out right. Let me see if I can pull it in the location. Okay, so let's try. Let's get a joint tool, pick on that edge. Okay, spin this around, and it's gonna be awful hard to find this, but let's see if I can do it right there. Moves it up. I think I didn't quite get something correct there. Let me cancel that and try it again. There we go. this one more time. If it doesn't work, then I'm not going to worry about it too much. In essence, I should go back in and fix that sub-assembly file. Alright, that looks like it got in the right spot. Hit OK. And hopefully, well, see, this is the problem. All subcomponents didn't go along with it. So I really need to go back to that file, get things set up correctly with that, so that everything matches up properly, because this is just a big headache to fix it. Okay, so you have to find out that you do that sometimes. Alright, so that's basics of how to kind of go in and start inserting components and then using the joint tool. Now what the joint tool is, just real quickly, it creates a separate little folder. There's my joints. Let me go in and show this real quick. So right now if I try to click on anything, notice this part moves as one whole piece because I didn't set a joint. Let me do that real quick. I'll type J again, capture positions, click on that edge, good. Spin in here and look for a matching edge. That pulls it in, and then when I hit OK, everything should go along with it. Okay, now I'm going to change that joint. So I'm going to go back and say Edit, and instead of being rigid, which locks down all 6 degrees of freedom, I'm going to say I want to revolute this. What that means is now in that particular axis, the Z-axis, it's free to move. So watch what happens. That's different now. When I click on this now, notice I can revolve that. Okay, I can't move it in and out because that's still constrained, and that's the only one I can move. So like I said, later on we're going to look at how to really use these joints to create assemblies that kind of function and work, and that's the way you do it. Okay.